Hi, it's Rashitza, Feminine Intuitive Insights from the Oracle. So, you know what? Got a little package today and we want to go and open this up. Of course, I've opened it up because I have several packages coming from Amazon. And so I just wanted to make sure that this is what was going to be there. So let's just put our hands in. And this is a deck reveal. And it is Colette Baron Reed's newest deck. Came out today, and at 11:11 this morning, she actually had a chat, and she was revealing her deck, and I never got a chance to go to that. So really, really happy that this arrived. So I didn't get a chance to see that. I have no idea how that went for her, and hopefully it went well. Anyways, what really intrigued me about this deck is that why I want to do this deck reveal is that I'm also an Oracle card creator. And so this was written and illustrated by Colette Baron Reed. So I'm actually going to be going through this deck with a little bit of a fine eye. From what I understand, she's done the artwork. They were like, man-sized sized paintings of art that she has done, and that she had found this creative side of herself during a real tough period of time. That's what I quickly read this morning. Anyways, Guides of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. It's a 44 card deck, and guidebook is included. And it says written and illustrated by Colette Baron Reed. And then on the back side, it says cover design by Lisa Vega. Cover spot art, Colette Baron Reed. I'm not used to that kind of language, so I don't know what that means. And it is printed in China, and then it says R1. Not sure what that is either. So I guess it was created as a special gift for Oracle card readers. The Guides of the Hidden Realms is the first deck written and fully illustrated by internationally renowned Oracle creator Colette Baron Reed. I've taken some of her courses. I've met her. I've been on stage with her. It was pretty cool. So it's great to see something of hers that she's done on her own. With the help of the guides, our trusted navigators across the bridge between the realms of the mystical and the ordinary realities, you'll be taken on profound exploration of the hidden realms, your destiny, and yourself, awakened to more than you ever thought possible as you manifest your most beautiful, fulfilling destiny. Okay, so right away, just want you to know, I don't know if it was Amazon. They're really good for where we're at. But I do have a nick here on the box, so that's kind of upsetting because this is a nice sturdy box. The rigid box do cost quite a bit of money. So anyways, there is the Hey-Ho symbol. So we're just going to open it up. I want to be a little bit careful too. I don't want to cause any more damage. And let's just see what this reveal is going to be about. You know, I have several of her decks, and then just because I'm in a different place right now as a reader, I find that I sold like 15 decks or something and gave another so many out. Anyways, look at that nice snug box. There's that beautiful guidebook. You know, when it's done in color, it's the very first picture that she has out. So there it is. It's in... Oh, there is no... Oh, so there is no card. It just goes by numbers. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. So we'll go through that later. Here you go. We're going to open it up. It actually smells like it's like that damp ink, or that ink is just dried. So it says, accept the sacred partnership of the guides and awaken to more than you ever thought possible, your true path, your purpose, your power, and your potential. And, you know, having talked with her, you know, I do believe that that's her belief, and she works diligently to do that. So here, let's just we've broken the seal. We've broken the seal. Look at the back of the decks. I'm just going to bring it up forward a little bit more. Let's see if we can just adjust this a bit. Okay, nice color scheme, faded a little bit. And then they have that border around them. Yeah, so there you go. That's great. And, you know, I love her certain cards. And the very first one, of course, which is absolutely beautiful, it's called Serenity Out of Exile. So you have the picture, and then here she's decided to use the words, the descriptor words or the key words. So it's exhale, surrender, radical acceptance. So I don't recall an exhale at all in her other decks, but someone else may have seen that. Surrender and radical acceptance. I've seen those words. So serenity out of exile. Number one, you see the number one down here. There's this moon, there's this person. So why don't we just read to find out what this card is all about. I'm going to move the boxes a little bit so that you can see the full card. And so number one, oh, well, I mean, we could go into, sorry, I'm right into the cards, right? You know, when you're an oracle reader. So let's take a look. So it says what this guidebook says. So myths and legends speak of powerful otherworldly beings acting as our trusted allies. Since the beginning of time, they've lived alongside humanity in the hidden realms, another dimension separated from ours by only a thin etheric veil. They have had many names of many forms. Some call them angels, fairies, or nature spirits. These magical beings walk between the worlds and sometimes openly beside us. They have always served us as our trusted navigators across the bridge between the realms of the mystical and ordinary realities. These guides knew that all things that manifested on earth plane were first conceived in the realm of the unseen infinite. Their gift was to help humanity direct our life force energy to create the most powerful and beneficial realities according to the order and higher dream of the divine. With the advent of materialism and technology, this is her writing, I guess, and she says, and so withdrew and faded from our lives and memories. But now, as our world has become increasingly out of balance and in need of redirection, we begin to hear the whispering of the guide's ancient wisdom again. When we accept this sacred partnership, we discover our inner magic and strengthen our relationship to the divine intelligence of the conscious universe. With the help of this oracle, you'll awaken to so much more than you ever thought possible: your true path, your purpose, your power, and your potential. The guides you meet act as the sacred intermediaries between you and the divine, aiding an intimate, dynamic, personal dialogue. The cards are navigational tools to ensure you don't get lost in the chaos of life as you manifest your most beautiful, fulfilling destiny. Welcome, seeker, to this exploration of the hidden realms, your destiny, and yourself. So then she goes on to the next page that talks about the story of the guides in this oracle. In the summer of 2021, I was restless and ungrounded and on the verge of burnout. As an empath, I was in search of spiritual fortitude to manage my experience of the pain and chaos of the world. I needed to unplug from the everyday noise so I could find a way to be of service to my community while also emotionally and spiritually supporting myself. I was in need of creative therapy. Writing music is a great heart softener and hope restorer for me. It is my usual means for creatively tuning into spirit. Lately, however, its power for doing so seemed to ebb. I yearned to explore something different, something my own. A recent attraction to all things hand-drawn and painted had inspired the artistic direction of my latest oracle deck, the Dreamweaver's Oracle, which was a shift from the digital art that had adorned my last several decks. Spurred by my newfound curiosity, I decided to take an online class on intentional creativity with my friend Anna. The last time I'd picked up a paintbrush was during my career transition 35 years ago when I painted on cloth for a living. I had no plans whatsoever for this to become a thing other than a meditation and a way to remember myself beyond self-definition and burden of expectation. I could not for the life of me intellectually decide what to paint and how. Every time I tried to imagine or force something specific, nothing would work. It was surprising and at times incredibly frustrating. And so I meditated before painting. As I let go, the first face emerged in my mind's eye. A blue being arose from an indigo ocean scattered with pearls, submerged in brittle and prickly brambles. This became the painting Serenity Out of Exile. I felt that this being was very much alive and giving me guidance about what to paint. It was so obvious to me that I was being invited to translate what I saw, and so I had no choice but to surrender. Zenith at the peak, my favorite of the entire deck, surface nests, calling themselves forward through autumn's bright oranges and reds, bearing a magical leaf crown. Then came a majestic river being drenched in turquoise and greens, challenging me to create a filigree crown. The call to a deep purple palette followed, and the sovereignty of magic appeared. While amazed at all this, shy yet proud, I shared my new hobby with Patty and Reed, the powers that are at Hay House, my publisher. I was genuinely surprised at their response. The opportunity to serve you with a new oracle featuring my own art. The paintings are large, 30 by 40 inches, so the idea of doing 44 of them was daunting and not my original plan, but as they say, we plan and God laughs. I had a panic attack of self-doubt, wondering how much judgment I'd received. After all, I had only completed half of the creativity class at this point. Who was I to present myself as an artist or an artiste? I heard my mouth say yes, but in my mind was the secret caveat that I could quit at any time. Intimidated by the sheer magnitude of the task, I didn't allow myself to think about the whole project or any painting other than the one in front of me. I realized this was an invitation to let go, translate what I saw in my meditation, and allow the process itself to guide me. I told myself that this would be a special gift for all the people who collect my decks, something so personal for me, something I'd never done before. I prayed and waited to see who appeared for me to paint their portrait. Although faces rose through the daydreaming or seated meditation, these otherworldly beings were so weirdly familiar, I felt like I knew them, that I was somehow related to them. Their eyes shone with golden light so that they all appeared to be part of a family or the same species. I sensed that they came from the hidden realms, another cosmic dimension intersecting ours. They all spoke a light language that I translated as best as I could on each painting. That's good to know. So now we know what that's about. Some of the beings were accompanied by funny little creatures like the moonbirds in the painting Happy, Healthy, Wealthy, Wise. Most were portraits of faces and environments they came from. Some showed up as cascades of single eyes, some emerging from the velvety night skies, most surrounded by abstract symbols. During one of my early morning meditations, a blue being, who now graces the card, What is Holy, What is True, conveyed images of paint mixed with holy water. I went to my altar where I had placed the small vials of holy water I'd collected over the years and chose some from Glastonbury, England, Lourdes, France, Peru, and a church in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I sprayed all the canvases with this blend and mixed it in my paints. All my pieces were done in this blessed acrylic paint, a combination of satin, matte, and metallic paints with gold leafing. I often finger painted when my hand would shake too much to hold a brush. I drew in a gold leaf pen when I couldn't remember how to use charcoal. I painted and painted, prayed, meditated, and listened deeply from August 2021 until April 2023 when I completed my last painting, Gratitude is Dreaming. Next, I had to translate the guide's messages. Some were straightforward, others more nuanced, but all were very clear. At their core, they expressed only love, compassion, trust, and faith, and a call to us to be better people. I don't write the messages in my oracle decks from intellect or memory. I channeled all of them. I receive them as they are gifted to me to bring to life. They give birth to themselves as inspirations that I then must make sense of using a vocabulary, a lexicon they can speak through. It's an intimate process of exploring universal experiences. I generally feel this is my destiny. I'm extremely fortunate and grateful to have an international audience that uses my cards and loves my work, and a publisher that allows me to create them as they come through me. That all being said, doing both the art and the writing, I may never do anything like this again. This was the most challenging yet spiritually healing experience of my recent memory. To say it shifted me is an understatement. I hope you love it as much as I do, and I hope the guides touch your heart the way they touched mine. So the central theme of this oracle deck is compassionate guidance, whether or not you believe that these beings are real or not. So, I'm not going to go into this because there's a lot more, but it is interesting. She does touch, and I'm just kind of like glanced in here. When you read the messages, make it personal and name the divine as you will. After all, humans have tried to explain our relationship to the great intelligence that made us since the beginning of time, and since there are many names possible, I use a diverse group interchangeably, so feel free to use whatever resonates with you. God, the divine source, quantum intelligence, spirit, conscious universe, higher power, divine intelligence, great goddess, etc. No matter what question you ask the oracle, the answer is always yours to interpret, reflect upon, and integrate. So, all right. So these came to her out of love, and how this works is that it's populated with 44 cards that are designed to be read either upright or reversed. In the guidebook entries, you'll find the key concepts for each card, an upright message, and the reverse message. So the upright cards present the essential meaning and guidance of the main theme of each card, and the reverse offers another perspective of that same theme and a reminder of how to stay on track, avoid unnecessary suffering, and receive some extra love, she says, and guidance when you find yourself dealing with potential challenges. And that's, I would say, so many oracles say the same thing. So that's really good. So when you're starting with this, she talks about having a prayer to start with that. And I know that's in some of her other decks. And then she talks about how to ask the right question. And so these cards are designed to address simple questions with a binary yes or no answer. And, oracles are like that, and people misinterpret that, and that's so true. That's more for pendulum work. And so, in other words, oracles answer with a poetic flavor rather than on the nose. Your question should be broad and subject-based. For example, good questions for the oracle to answer would be one of the following. What am I not seeing when it comes to my next career step? What do I need to know about this situation for the highest good of all involved? She's used that in her oracle classes, Palooza, and so on and so forth. And what do I need to focus on today? What do I need to know about my relationship with my lover? What is the next right action regarding this project? So those are some things that we have seen Colette use in the past. So she says, to read this deck has different meanings depending on whether the card presents upright or in reverse. So there's key concepts in the entries as well as so you can get the general message at a glance. Although there are many beautiful and complex threads with the oracle and tarot traditions. So in the one card reading, you can ask a question of your choosing, and then you look at the corresponding pages in the book. And then she talks about the 2-card reading, the 3-card reading. So she's extended it out that way. She has 2 versions for the 3-card reading. So, that past, present, future, that's a very common one for all of us. Present, right action, possible result, that's another one. There's so many ways, and you can look up on the net, or there are oracle guidebooks on stuff like that. So now it's your turn, she says. Be free and use your curiosity and intuition to come up with your own spreads or apply whatever is your favorite. So here, the cards and their meanings. So let's look at just the very first card, and it's quite detailed. She doesn't have the picture of the card, which is a typical Colette Baron-Reid that I've seen in the past. So the key concepts of the very first card, this is the first card, is serenity, exhale, surrender, release from perfectionism, and radical acceptance. So she just has 3 words there, and yet her key concepts have more. So it says sustained uncertainty can lead to hypervigilance, where you spend most of your energy on patrol against potential threats from the outside world. In trying to protect yourself, you've banished yourself to the brackish, watery depths, caught within a triangle of prickly brambles that you can't see a way through. You walled yourself off from the world and your connection to your higher power. Yet there are pearls submerged within you, hidden in those branches, a reminder of how far you've come despite this temporary experience. It's time to leave this seductive state of hyper-awareness and re-enter your life with full permission to rest and cultivate inner peace. The challenge comes from within. Know that you are worthy and nothing is worth depleting yourself for. Stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. The past doesn't have to repeat itself. When you know your worth, your choices will be in alignment with your destiny. Allow yourself to trust and to choose something new and beautiful. Then the next right action will be revealed. Breathe, fall back, keep your heart open, allow serenity to take its place within you once again. Give yourself this gift, gather your pearls. In the reverse, the radical acceptance doesn't mean acquiescence or giving up. Acquiescence. It's a way to see the world exactly as it is. Anyways, so that's pretty interesting. So let's go through, I mean, a lot of description and a lot of explanation about the deck. So let's just go through. So the very first one is, and I like to touch them all. So Serenity out of Exile, very interesting face. You know, there's a dragonfly, and then there is light language symbols or symbology of some kind. Little pearls. So very vivid colors, and then it's not the same on the back. So the second card is Zenith at the Peak. It's number 2. Victory, achievement, and tangible abundance. Pretty good feel to the card quality. Just getting used to card quality. I think it's like a 14 point. I think it feels that way. The river dances to the sea. That's pretty cool. That's the third card. So flow state, trusting in the adventure, digging that, really digging that. And it's really interesting. The top piece, it's not a crown. I can't think. It looks like it has fins on the outside of this face. And that person's eyes are looking a little bit up. This is more direct, a little hooded, very interesting, a little hooded again. Treasures in the Deep and Dark is number 4. Shadow work, healing old wounds. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very interesting. And then you have the third eye really highlighted and a bit of a smile. There you go is the sovereign, how come I can't say this tonight? Sovereignty of magic. So it's about synchronicities, miracles, and spiritual forces. Love it. That's number 5. That makes sense, right? You know that card number. So ripe, juicy, and ready is number 6. Poised for success, potential waiting to be realized. Oh, I love it. I wonder if that's an apple on the top. Love the leaf work. Epiphanies sing at dawn, number 7. So the aha moments, awakening new direction and potential. Okay, so I'm going to ask, when I'm done, I'm going to do just a quick read. So Grace with Chaos is number 8. Accepting life's complexities and the seduction of distraction. Oh, I write about that. How we can get pulled into that, and how do we know that what we think is a healthy distraction is a healthy distraction. So holding space for love is number 9. Non-judgment, discernment, self-acceptance. Discernment's a really big one, because you figuring out how to have that distinction is pretty cool in your choices and in the direction that you take your life. Number 10 is the eyes of mystery, uncharted territory, and deep knowing. Number 11, order in the forest, releasing resentments, cleansing, making amendments. So nice slide to, they are shinier in, I prefer a little bit more of a linen. I like that quality in the cards. Collaboration, intimacy, power dynamics is number 12. Listening to the ancestors. She has a deck on ancestors, I thought. Number 13. So this is inherited patterns, traditions, integrated wisdom versus knowledge. Very cool. Oh, I am digging this one. Number 14. What is holy? What is true? Appreciation, witnessing the unmerited gift of grace. Grace is huge. Learning that and what that means is really pivotal in a journey. Full moon eclipse, number 15, removing eternal obstacles, confronting self-identity intensity. Frozen for a time, that is really cool. Kind of does remind you of the movie Frozen. Number 16, non-action, slow down, not yet. Okay, I hope I don't get that one when I do my reading. So a call to transformation, metamorphosis, the in-between. I am liking the fact that these cards are not a very typical kind of look to them. This true source of power is number 18, divine will, integrity, power versus force. 19, begin with faith in spring, beginnings, innocence, fertility, and growth. The consequence of fear is number 20, contradiction, the frequency of fear, self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you look at, there's this real focus on the the throat chakra and the third eye, and then there's eyes over here. So there's a lot of detail in some of the cards that really seem to pop out. I think, once you take some time and looking at them, death reclaims a life, number 21. So that is the natural endings and grief, letting go, the sacred quality of death. And then the alchemy of poison, number 22, transformational lessons, reclaiming personal choice, radical forgiveness. This is great. Look at this, gratitude and dreaming, number 23, the manifesting power of gratitude, the law of praise. 24, surrender to the change, the art of allowing, resilience and adaptability. Focus on the throat. And again, a little bit of a repeat there, I find. And when you're doing your cards, that's one thing that, you look at as well. I do, about repeating. All eyes are open, number 25. So inspired vision, clarity, perception, revelation. Very nice. Yeah. The dream of co-creation, 26. Manifestation, divine partnership, frequency, alignment. She has written a lot about that and talks about that. Number 27, every word has power. Education, power of persuasion, communication, internal dialogue. 28, all the time in the world. So having enough time management. That's really interesting with the eye. Connection through the cosmos. So number 29, so community, everything is connected, the law of reciprocity. She talks about that in her courses, and I've had some of that documentation that she gave out to us to understand that. Number 30 is enough for now and always. You are enough, worthiness, faith in needs being met. I think that is really interesting. Now you look at this, I think I want to read more about what she writes about this card. She's got a fish and she's got coral, and the fish is by the coral, and then this coral by the person. And again, the throat chakra is again highlighted, as well as the third eye. In the midst of radiant fire, number 31. So this is inspiration, passion, obsession, cleansing fire. I'm actually doing a meditation that's going to include that. So that's pretty cool. All the blessings everywhere, number 32. Gifts from the universe, synchronicity. The masks we wear, number 33. Self-expression, protection, authentic self. Letting go of stories, number 34. She does talk about this as well in some of her other things about this letting go. And she talks about the story you create the story in the cards. And so now this is letting go of stories. So it's going to be interesting to read about that. Surrendering attachments, releasing unconscious patterns. So why don't we just see what that one is about? I'm just interested because so it's surrendering attachments, the stories we tell ourselves, who we would become without the stories, releasing unconscious patterns, and freedom to change. It's an amazing feeling when you don't want anything because you know your needs will be met. That's how she starts. Be mindful now of the stories you tell about yourself and others. Make sure those stories embrace and have space for the true abundance the universe has for you. When you decide to finally let go of the stories of limitation, you may discover another path even better than the one you've been holding on to. So that's her write-up, and that's not the full write-up, so I'll leave that to you to look at. Number 35, this and that are true. Open-mindedness, perspective, nuance, and complexity. Another chance to be is 36, so reclamation, second chances, rebirth, emotional healing. Love that. Like that. Again, the focus on the throat chakra as well as the third eye. A way out of the weeds, a clear way out, multitasking, getting organized is number 37. 38 is focus on brilliance, focused attention, prioritizing, and persevering. I have a persevere card in my deck, and it's going to be coming out probably in about 5 to 6 weeks. So that's we're on the same page. And that's the thing that you'll find in the spiritual community is that people are there. You're going to hear the same type of nuances out from spiritual leaders out there. Number 39, emergence, I should say, of protection. Boundaries, self-preservation, trusting the divine protection. Very cool. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise. And she talked about that in her introduction. Number 40, mentorship for fulfillment, peace of mind, and self-care. Number 41 is emergence of true knowing, intuition, rigorous honesty, and inventory. Rise to the occasion. So this is about capability, strength, authenticity, and free will. And that's interesting. Look at this. I think it's a bird of, immediately thought about a phoenix, but I'll let you guys look at that. 43 is the burden of choice. Yes. Choosing higher ground, consequences, unconscious choice making. And number 44 is the emergence of hope. I also have a hope card. So it's you can see there's themes that are going to be coming out. I would say now that we're all on this certain path together. So this is about faith, trusting in the divine plan, all is well, and patience. And it's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you know what? I'm just going to quickly just deal, and I'm going to just say, is there, for my own spiritual practices and business, is there, I'm just going to do a little one card read because I don't want this to be too long. But is there anything that I need to know regarding my business, my spiritual practice and business? Is there anything that I need to know? I'm going to just take that one that's just holding on. Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, aha moment, awakening, new directions, potential. And this is Epiphany Sing at Dawn, number 7. That was always just such a beautiful angel number for me. So let's take a look to see what it says. The aha moment, epiphanies and awakening, something dawning, new ideas, new directions, potential. The way of understanding is not always direct. After struggling with something a while, sometimes you just have to let it go. Then when you stop trying to figure it out intellectually, an epiphany will deliver you from your confusion. Inspiration flows and you suddenly have the exact understanding you need to move forward with meaning and purpose. These dawning moments of revelation happen so because you stop overly focusing on the issues and let your peripheral awareness gather what it needs. It's a skill that most people don't know they have, but it's how we tap into the hidden realms for information. In your current situation, stop trying to figure things out with your mind and self-will alone, and instead surrender to spirit. Ask for your solution, it will come, but only when you let go of the need for the exact timing, form, and matter in which it's delivered. The best way to prepare is to engage in some repetitive, mundane activity. While doing something completely unrelated, you will receive a divine download. Go for a walk, garden, do the dishes, paint, or dance if you're able. You're on the right path now. Trust the Spirit has a plan, and all the answers you need will be gifted to you when you're truly ready to receive them. So, very, very cool. This is Colette Barron Reed's deck done by yourself. Just a few other things just to say, this is printed in China as all they are, and I wish that they would share where their who their printer is, so that some of the rest of us. But it's very interesting. Here is her deck. The very best to you, Colette Barron Reed, for producing this deck and everything that's in it. And thanks, everyone. Wish you the very, very best.